I am deliciously well. From the infamous soy 6, Pattaya gets kind of a bad rap. Pattaya, I think the simplicity of accessibility, because
How much time do you actually spend outdoors compared to when you lived in America?
so just getting into the mindset that I don't have to do anything unless I want to.
Okay, since moving to Thailand, how has your health changed? Every
But-
mall has a Sizzler here in Thailand.
But it's a different quality of meat here than what you find.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tony Chambers.
Haha.
Anthony, how are you doing today?
I am deliciously well.
Where are
Lovely.
we today, actually?
We're in Central Pattaya.
What is Central?
Well, it is south of where I live, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the first malls that was built here in Pattaya. And it sits right on the beach, which is pretty sexy. Just down the street from the infamous walking street in that direction, and from the infamous soy 6 to the right of us, which I say infamous emphatically infamous. Yeah.
If someone has never been here before, how would you describe Pattaya?
Pattaya gets kind of a bad rap because of the various industries that are here that involve the female persuasion. But Pattaya's, I would say, if Miami and Vegas had a baby, it would be Pattaya.
What's your favorite area in Pattaya?
I would say favorite area where I live. I love Pratamnak because in the distance you can see the Pattaya sign. So there is a lovely park there, which is the Buddha Hill, of course, and it's quiet, but yet it has all the amenities and anything that you could possibly want. But all the soys are that way. But Pratamnak sits closest to the water. And so you have the water, you have the foliage of Buddha Mountain all at the same time. So I just love that vibe for me. I was just sharing that, I can stay in a couple of days and be very, very comfortable in my environment. But then when I come out, it's like the world is brand new again. So it's like a renewal. Just getting on my bike and riding down here, riding down the hill to come here today, I'm like, wow. And as I sat and had my cup of tea this morning, it just reminds me of how delicious life truly is here, Because you can do anything, have anything, anytime. Options. That's what the fuss is really all about. All the lovely options that are available and accessibility. So, as they say in Thailand, it's up to you,
If someone has never been here before, what makes Pattaya so unique compared to other cities in in Thailand?
Pattaya, I think the simplicity of accessibility, because the only limits that you have to doing anything, again, is up to you. So if you are an undisciplined person or you're something that have not experienced some of the fun things of life, you can come here and lose your mind, But if you come here with some semblance of sanity and you know who you are and the life that you want to live, it's really, really kind of chill and cool. So you got the best of both worlds, I think.
How much time do you actually spend outdoors compared to when you lived in America?
That's an interesting question.
Shall we walk inside because it's a little bit windy and I'm not
Sure,
sure if the sound, but you can answer the question.
As I think about it, wait, ask the question again.
Yeah.
One more time.
Okay. How much time do you actually spend outdoors compared to when you lived in America?
You know, that is a great question. You know, in the States, that's a hell of a question, man. I think I spend more time outside here simply because of my activity. You know what I mean?
Could that also have to do with being retired?
Yeah, because in the States I always had something to do. I was always doing something, you know, whether it was radio or whether it was teaching. But, you know, all those gigs were things that I loved to do, so it wasn't like working. So just getting into the mindset that I don't have to do anything unless I want to, that took a year for me to mellow out and get out of the mindset of that I got to do something, you know? So taking a year to do that was its own doing. You know what I mean? It took some doing to really make that happen.
Do you think the weather contributes to happiness?
The weather?
The weather.
Well, it's kind of like Florida weather. You know, the average is roughly, 86 degrees every day. That's the average. So it's conducive to doing anything at any given time. And being close to the water, man, I've gone down there and just sat under an umbrella and spent 8-9 hours just looking at the water. You know, maybe getting a foot massage, you know, maybe getting a mani-pedi sitting there having lunch, having fresh coconut. Somebody will come by and offer you, you know, fried crab, crispy crab to have alongside some fresh fruit. You know, you get concierge service sitting on the beach in a lawn chair.
One thing many people don't realize is Koh Larn is only a short ferry ride away.
Oh.
Have you been?
Yeah, I've been on a number of times. Quick ferry ride or either a speedboat, however you choose to go.
Have you tried both?
Yes.
Have you been on the ferry as well?
I have.
Yeah? Okay.
I have. And I've spent days out on the water just fishing. And I'm not a fisherman, but just being out on the water a whole day, listening to some jazz, bonding with some of the fellas in the area. It's always a good time.
What makes the beaches around Pattaya underrated?
Well, largely because they get so much activity. So I think beaches close to Pattaya are kind of, you know, challenging in terms of their beauty, but the sunsets, the water itself is still sexy as hell. But out on Koh Larn, you're out in the middle of the freaking ocean, and it's an island, and you can go out there, rent a motorbike, travel the island, eat good food, swim in the ocean. It's sexy. And what is it, like 33 baht, I think, for a ferry ticket? About 30 baht, which is what? What? Am I 100?
And otherwise you have the speedboat, and I think that's like 500 to go back and forth.
Yeah, and that's like $15.
Yeah.
So, so it's just freedom, man. Freedom.
Why do you think so many retirees are choosing Thailand?
If they're like me, it's affordability. You know what I mean? It makes sense to have dollars and cents in your pocket rather than paying it out for absorbent amounts for a little of nothing.
Can $5 still buy you a meal?
No.
But I mean in US.
No, you can't even. You think you want a happy meal? You be a sad person.
Yeah.
Yeah, no happy meals. plus you have no idea what you're ingesting.
Okay, since moving to Thailand, how has your health changed?
Oh my. Now, that is one of the best questions you could have asked. I'm looking forward to going back to the States.
Okay, so as the camera cut off, how's your health doing in Thailand? How has your health changed since living in Thailand?
Well, I've come here and released about, I think maybe 40, 45 pounds. And when I say release,
Okay, so you released it. Sorry, it's working now.
yeah, I released about 45 pounds, man, quite easily, I might add. And I threw away a bag of medications that was to me when I came here. I threw that shit away. I said, I'm going to take life in my life. I'll take it in my own. Try doing it my way.
And how has that worked out now?
Deliciously well. You know, simply because none of my clothes fit anymore. Fortunately, we have tailors here, and I can get much of it altered. But blood pressure down, no medication at all. You know, it's just, oh man, it's lovely. I think, you know, on my birthday, I was having a conversation with AI. And I said, okay, so what is the average life expectancy of a man in the US? And she said, I think 82. And I said, well, what is the life expectancy of a man that leaves the US and comes to Thailand? And she said, 86. And I said, well, why is that? And she said, because of diet and no stress. Now that's AI. So I have created longevity in my life, improved my health, improved my physique, where my waistline is almost the same as it was when I was in college. That's it.